Good evening and welcome to the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. It is Monday, September 22nd. It is now 6:10 p.m. Voting members present, I have to my right the Vice Chair of this committee, Councilor Vivian Marmo, and Council President Giovanni Rodriguez. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or view this meeting while in progress may either attend here in the City Council chamber or use any of our social media platforms. At this point, can you join me in a moment of silence for Coach Yancey that passed away over the weekend? And now join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Councilors, we have minutes to approve from August 25th, 2025. I will entertain a motion for the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes?
A motion has been made by Council Marmo, seconded by Council President. Discussion on the minutes. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And the ayes have it. All right, councilors, can I have, hold on a second. Can I have a motion to untable item 361-25, authorization to expend $122,938.71 from the Office of Planning and Development grant funds from the Massachusetts Department of Public Health for winter protocols and temporary placements of fire victims.
Motion to untable?
Second.
A motion has been made, properly seconded, no discussion on table items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. I believe we have our representatives here. There were some questions regarding the homelessness factor of it. Can we just go back, just do a quick overview of what this grant is once again? I don't know, I'm looking at both of you. I'm not sure who's gonna come up, but, okay, come on over. Just a quick.
I'm here to support her.
Okay, got it. If we could get your name and title
Absolutely.
and address for the record.
Sure. My name is Milagro Grullón, and I am the Homelessness Initiatives Coordinator for the City of Lawrence. And you needed what else would you need from me?
What is the office address?
The office address is 360 Merrimack Street,
Thank you.
entrance K, unit or suite 270.
Thank you. So, Milagros, can you just, it's been a while, it's been like, I think, almost 2 weeks since we've discussed this. Just give us a quick overview of what the
Absolutely.
grant is, and then we'll go back into the questioning.
Absolutely. So the Department of Public Health of the state of Massachusetts awarded us this funds so that we may be able to shelter homeless individuals during the harsh winter weather. And this will be in warming centers, or it will be in shelters that already exist that will do overnights for them. They will also provide food, clothing, blankets, personal care products, anything that they will need to keep themselves warm inside. This also includes a warming center or warming centers so that during the day they are able to go and have hot chocolate, whatever they need during the day. So this will run through, we hope that by April, we should be able to have all these funds spent down with the centers that we will be using to help us with the homeless population. So I think we're going to have, just to give you a little bit more, so we're going to have street outreach workers that will engage with the individuals and families that are homeless. They will also be assisted with ensuring that the places that they're in are efficient and also compassionate towards these folks. There's also a request that was made and has been cleared, made clear to us that no matter what the issues, if they are active users, they should be allowed to come into these warming centers. And it is a desire and also part of the plan to provide triage for most of the folks entering the shelter, the overnight shelters and the warming center. This will be promoting health, making referrals if they need referrals, and coordinate any other services, specifically mental health, with other organizations within the community. So in essence, that is what these funds are for.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Councilors, any additional questions or comments? Council President.
Thank you for being here. I just want to know a little bit more about you first, because the
Oh, absolutely. So my background, so I used to work for the city 15 years ago, and this is one of the areas that I worked on out of 5 others that I was able to manage during my tenure at the city. So I do have the qualifications. I have a master's degree in management and also have a lot of certifications. I'm going for my second master right now. It should be done fairly, maybe by the end of December, finish a second master's. I don't know what to tell you.
in general, like, you know, because I mean, it is important to understand based on the description, the job description that you,
Oh, absolutely.
that you're holding, the job that you're holding have a specific job description that over years have changed in the
Correct.
people that are on that position. So understanding your background will help me more to understand how you potentially manage any type of project or any type of fund that get to the city. My original thought when it comes to that position, it was mostly to be a micromanagement of resources that we get throughout the homeless community, not necessarily like a case-by-case situation, more like generic. So I wanted to know, like, I'm wondering to know if that's your approach on this position, or in general you have more specifics that we might don't know.
Sure. Well, this is the situation. Once I left, this position actually was dismantled and it did not exist. Then it came back, and depending on those that held the position, they created their own views of the position. Now, in 2016, a lot of the work, the position was created and is also part of the city charter that is now a quote-unquote permanent position within the city. So a lot of the work that I did back then and that was recorded when I was here from 2004 to 2010 is now the description that you will have for this position. So it's basically coordinating with all of the agencies that provide services to the homeless. It is bringing them together and making sure that we are not duplicating efforts, but we are thorough in the services that are provided to the homeless individuals specifically. Working with agencies that house and also agencies that just do outreach, such as the Health Center, Community Action Council, and most of these larger agencies that provide some level of services or resources to the homeless community. It is for me also to work with the state, making sure that I am up to date with all the changes that might happen throughout the policies changes. So, and this is the so when meeting with the individual organization or actually collectively as well, I'm able to share that information so that we could better serve the homeless individual. I also come with a grant writing skill that I have done and I used while I was here in the city back then. I did most of the grant writing for the Supernova, which is a collection of agencies that come together, write a proposal for the same purposes as I am doing today. Today, we are also working on getting more funding, and I am actually writing this grant as we speak, to acquire more funding for individuals that are homeless. Now, these funds are also specific. So I know Councilor Marmo had a question regarding if we could use these funds for fire victims there are some fundings that are earmarked for just services to the homeless, regardless if we had a fire during the winter months that we are holding these grants, then we can use it for them. But I cannot use it, for example, for the folks that recently were in a fire in Lowell and Oxford Street. That is not going to be possible to do. So most of these funds are restricted and they have a date. So we use it from this date to that date. So I cannot go backtrack or try to filter in other groups within the grant that was allotted to us. Otherwise, the grant is taken back.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The reason that I'm asking is because knowing the position, what you can do, and knowing the type of homeless, a lot of people might think like homelessness is just the typical panhandler in the street, or perhaps those ones that are now at the shelters and stuff like that. There is like 5 different type of homeless. Even people that are doubled up on an apartment are potentially be homeless at some point, and the different level of homelessness.
Correct.
That's what make me understand that potentially some type of some fund that we're not pursuing currently, we might be able to pursue it and be able to provide services to them, to those, and all the programs that we might have based on the characteristic of people that are potentially be homeless. We can also adopt those programs to be able to help people that really need it when it comes to rental system, or when it comes to potentially those that are truly in need.
With this grant specifically, you will find, because it's given to us from the state, from the state, Massachusetts, and also from the health department, there's a little bit of room so that we could use the term families. Now, the grant, for example, that we're writing right now, it's only for individuals, meaning there could be husband and wife, but not children. So here in the wintertime, from now until next year, if we find, with these funds, we find families that are homeless, then we are able to help them. For the sheltering, at night they could come in, sleep in a cot, and then come back and go to a warming center. So it's not sort of a place that they could stay there for the 30 days that we have the place open. They could come in for 3 days and go out. So there's more flexibility with this one right here than the other ones that we will receive. They're very strict with the language and actually the level of, homelessness that they're in. So for us right now, for the purposes of this grant, we have the wording included that we are including individuals and families, mother and child, they could go in. Now, for another grant, we cannot have children stay in the shelters.
No, I mean, I appreciate that you explained the grant and that and your expertise about the position as well, because it's very important for us to understand as a people that it's a point of contact in the community. Mm-hmm. We serve out there as your eyes sometime when it comes to homelessness, some type of issue related to homeless. So we can pass that over and understand how you view the position, how the city is going to take that approach, mm-hmm. and potentially how we can help those people up there. So thank you for explaining that. And I want to know, like, once we finish up with the questioning, I have one more question related specifically to the grant.
Perfect.
Thank you. Councilor Marmo.
Through you, Madam Chair. My line of questioning in the last meeting was because on the title of the grant says, or on the memo itself, it says for fire victims. So if you don't mind repeating yourself again, I'm not sure if you've already answered it through our council president's question. You said, you were mentioning how the fire victims from Lowell Street would not fall under this grant.
That's correct.
Could you walk me through as to what's the criteria of this grant?
Well,
Just so I can gain an understanding, because it says fire victims, so I'm not sure as to what.
when we have a fire, let's say in the winter time, and you know this happens, every winter we have a fire, whether it's a minor fire. So these folks fall under that. Why? Because with these funds, we are able to put them in hotels, and we don't have the flexibility with other funds. So this will be for hotel stays in the event of a fire or a natural disaster. Water breaks out somewhere, we have a flood, too much snow. So this could happen then, as far as helping the fire victims. But we, right now, in my office, so I have folks that had a fire in June. I wasn't around, so I don't know what type of, how it was caused. I don't have any information. However, if I'm not able to help them with fundings, then I will send them to the community folks that work with other fundings that could. Our whole goal here is to utilize all the resources that we have in the community. The city, and I don't speak for anybody, but I speak only of the knowledge that I have, is a place where we could provide direction to. So we're a hub, and therefore we need to direct them where the fundings are, where the housing are. We've taken a role that is very, honorable in putting people into hotels, but that within government, that's kind of questionable in times of audits, that unless we get specific funding or provide it, we can't take that out of our general fund. So that's why some of these grants are great to do. But our role mainly is to direct traffic like a traffic controller and, send the people where they need to go. And that is part of my role. And that's what I do. So they come in. I have had many people come in my office since I came in July. And we've been able to redirect them and have them get the services that they need in a community nonprofit organization.
No, I appreciate the answer, and I want to stick specifically to what this grant is about, so I can have an understanding as to what we're approving, because I had a whole set of questions for you under the assumption that the Lowell Street fire that happened recently would fall under in receiving or benefiting from this grant. So
if they continue to be
this grant is
homeless,
for minor fires is what you're saying, for minor fire victims?
Council Marmo, from reading the order authorization, the way that I'm reading this is this grant specifically, if it happens during the extreme cold weather months, then fire victims, and correct me if I'm wrong, fire victims could be privy to using, the city could be privy to using these funds to help the fire victims immediately after that fire has occurred. I'm not seeing anything here about long-term assistance, but at least what I'm reading here is if something happens during the extreme cold weathers, these fundings, this fund can be used for immediate action.
correct.
Until the city comes up with something.
And the other thing you should know, if you have not, and I have also kept you informed through your emails in sending you the information. We just had a 30 days report after the fire. We raised $55,000. Most of those people and I, some of them were extremely honest. They said, I don't need it, I work. So we were able to up some other folks' funds. I'm talking specifically of the August 12th fire. Now, if they so happen to have another episode of fires, these funds will be available to them if they need hotels. However, the reason why I'm mentioning this is the law is very clear that if they are now, as of April of 2023, the landlord is responsible to spend $750 in, so we need to take that first. We can't use this money first. It has to be their money first, then we come in. Like any other insurance that you get. You first use your primary and then you use your secondary. And we will be always the secondary. So it gives us more manageable. I mean, we had certain situation during that fire that people were demanding of us, and some did get away with it. But nonetheless, we've helped everyone that needed to be helped. So far, we are sending a survey asking the folks that were affected, the victims, if we did a good job, what should have we done better, so on. So it's very simple, 5 or 6 questions that we're going to ask them, so that you could also have that information in the event anybody in the community asks, about how we did as a city, then you will have those answers as well. We will collect that as well. So I hope that you have received the information that I have sent to you all, so that you have a little, of all the work that was done. There's a lot of work, and most, if not all, of the agencies within the city work together to get things done and help these victims. Some people are always going to complain, and I think you know that that's human nature. There's always somebody that's going to say that we didn't do enough. Well, we did what we needed to do, and I think we did well. That's my own, opinion of the services that we provided to everyone, from you guys, city councilors, and connecting other folks, to the community answering with food and clothing and all that other stuff. We did a very good job.
If I may, this will be my last question.
No problem.
You being in the role that you're in, what do you say we could do better in?
What do I say we could do? I think coming here and only having and being away from this environment for so many years, I really have to get really acquainted with how we run things. Everything right now, since I came to my position, everything has been emergency mode. So therefore, people don't act, to the fullest. They just act to deal with whatever situation comes in. So from day one, it has been always emergency. The first day we had on the 15th, I came on the 14th, on the 15th there was a fire. Then you continue on having not only issues, we have homelessness coming in every day because they think that we could pay their hotels. So every single day there was an emergency. We have young people coming in. So right now I cannot, with all fairness to everyone that works here in the city, say that there should be something done better. I believe that so far we've been able to survive all of the situations that have been, that have come my way, at least, and I have worked with every single department so far, and we've come to to do what we've needed to do. So far, I think we're okay.
All right. I have a question regarding your earlier statement pertaining to some grants or some funding locations not allowing children to be housed temporarily with their parents. So when the city comes across that situation, what is the protocol that you have? And I know you said that certain things you're still getting the hang of, but have you had that situation since you've started?
Let me see. I have not, as it relates to that, but when families are involved in anything, we have to get involved, the Department of Children and Service, and they will provide either a shelter that takes them in. They're usually all in Boston and outside this area, so none are in the Merrimack Valley. Okay. But this is where they're usually sent. So there's always an agency that would take care of the families. And the reason is that we are truly concentrating on the folks that are on the streets right now. And if there is children that come in, if there's a fire and there's children, we will always give them to the agencies that take care of the families. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
And I see here too, the letter from the Office of Health and Human Services. It states here that the engagement contract will be effective through June 30th of 2026, you mentioned a date of April. So what happens if, say, we don't have the emergencies that we,
So,
if we don't, that would be a miracle. If we don't have the emergencies, right, and there's monies left over, what can those funding be used for?
well, my observation with that is that these fundings will be divided into 2 or 3 agencies, right? And all of these agencies, when you have people work overnight, you have to pay them overtime as well. So a lot of that funding is going to go, and I'm thinking that if we start, as you approve this, this will start immediately. And so from now until April, which is really the cold months, specifically now we're talking about December, January, February, very cold, these shelters might be open 30 days each time that they open. So therefore, there's a lot of money that's going to be, used to house these people, feed these folks, and also pay for the staff that is there. So I'm thinking that, we might be short in what we might be giving these folks, the agencies. So it's not, it's not like we're giving them a lump sum and just to work and not get paid and not, don't pay your rent, we'll be okay. It's not, this out of this funding, there's going to be sort of, if they have subcontractors, that we have nurses that are going to be coming in to do triage, right? Then we have food. We're thinking that during those months, they could use, aside from what they already use, 12,500 divided into 2 or 3 agencies. That's not going to be enough for the months that we're going to be using them. And then guest services such as clothing, showers, buying personal care products, all of these things that we might need, and other personal supplies. Then we have program support, and this includes, the assistant of getting them IDs. Most of the folks that are there living in the encampments and everywhere they're living, they're going to need new IDs, birth certificates. So this is also paying the support staff that is going to help them. And if they need, and I know some of these agencies do, if they need to pay like the $25 or the $50 for their IDs, these agencies pay it for them. But this comes out of this money as well. So then we have office supply. We only, put in there 1,024, which anything, that money will be consumed fairly fast. Everything is so expensive that for 3 or 4 agencies getting this money, it'll be like $300 or $400 each. And we don't think it's going to be enough. So in accommodations, again, it's $24,000, and this is only 135 nights in any hotel. We took the highest rate. We looked into different hotels and found, that a happy medium was $185 a month. So therefore, if we have people stay there, if we have 10 people stay there for just 10 nights, the money's gone. So we have to think of all these things. It's a lot of strategic planning, and you have to be extremely wise how to use these funds. So these funds are not going to just hang around until June. June for us is the month that we have to give a report of everything that has been done, collecting information from everyone, and actually sending in a final report to the state of what we have done in order for us in the future to be considered for any other money that they have surplus. So,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Any other, are you guys good? You want a question? Oh, Council President.
Just I want to get a couple of things. When it comes to the protocol to call for an emergency shelter or winter situation, that it's that kind of like, it's time to call for a sheltering for homeless. How you guys decide that? I know that it's based on weather, but there is a lot more than that.
Well, they should be prepared. Every person that will come into a collaboration with the city would have to be ready as from the moment that we get this money. So getting cots. So we know that there was an agency that needed cots and blankets. So they were immediately prepared so that if we got cold weather in November, they were able to get the folks in their facilities with new cots.
My question will be more around, like, as a department, how you guys decide to call for an emergency to open up the warming center.
Well, Right now, what has been done in the past is that there is always a coordination, so we know when the weather, we go by the weather. There's no way for you to go any other way. If it's the weather is too cold, people are going to be out in the streets, then this is when we start sending out, as far as I'm concerned, in the history of other warming or shelters, overnight shelters, has been when the weather gets really cold and they start preparing the places for it. That's
Also-
the protocol so far. I cannot tell you what's going to, what it was years ago because I wasn't here, so I don't have that information
I
for you.
understand. So basically, based on weather, it's gonna be cold, warming center, to be open, and then you communicate with everybody. So walk me through the communication process. How you guys get folks to
Well,
to
right
join
now,
you guys?
we have worked with IT to create a listserv for all of the organizations that are serving homeless individuals. So right now, we have about 145 individuals that are in a group that immediately anything happens or any information that they need to know goes out to them. This is, we're getting ready. Now, mind you, for one of the things that we're going to be able to implement this year is transportation. So we're going to work with some of our transportation folks that they could be picking up these folks and bringing them to the shelters. So that's, I don't know if that answered your question.
Actually, that was my next question. I have it writing over here, transportation. How
I
you
went
guys
ahead of
pertain to
myself, right? I
transportation?
should have waited.
I think that you read my cheat sheet.
No,
No,
I
I
mean,
mean,
it takes wisdom. I mean, you can't just expect people to walk over if it's freezing and the locations. And what we're doing is we're trying to section off the city. So we're going to have a shelter in South Lawrence for those that are in the Denmark area, high school, and all of that area. So we could have a shelter for them to go in. Then we're going to have another one close to Park Street area. We're going to have one here. The senior center is going to be also available. The Lazarus House, and also we're going to have in the West Street, we're going to have the House of Mercy. So we're going to try to section off the city, and when this transportation is already set for us, with this grant, it will not be that way, because this grant does not provide us transportation dollars. But I believe that with the other funding, we could work this, that the transportation could take place immediately after November 15th.
So one more question, through you, Madam President, Madam Chair of the committee. One thing that I would like to know is if you guys work just with organization with, or you also work with individuals that deal with homeless.
You need to clarify your question.
So I mean, do you work do you only work with organizations, or you guys work also with individuals that are helping out homeless people one way or another?
Okay, so I'm not sure of your question, because when you say individuals,
I'll
are they?
clarify a little more. So you keep on mentioning, I'm gonna be working with 3 different organizations or 4, so far so on. My question is around whether or not you guys also gonna be working with independent people that go up there every day to help our homeless.
Well, if you're
to
talking about
get to them.
if you're talking about churches that go out there and service the homeless without being sort of a nonprofit, a homelessness serving organization, then yes, absolutely, we will work with them. I also want to be very careful in what I am agreeing or saying, because we have to work with institutions that are recognized by the state. Yes, they can be volunteers and help. Yes, they can continue to do the work that they're doing, as long as they're steering these folks to some resources within the community that these people could get more permanent help, versus just bringing them sandwiches or clothing or, some personal care products. We need to be very consistent with the help that we provide. I do understand that you might think that, Peter or Paul are out in the community and they're going out there helping the homeless. Well, if they're not recognized as an entity, then we cannot partner with them in the sense that we're going to be giving them funding unless they come in through an agency and work under a 1099 and things like that. So all that stuff gets
No, I
tricky
mean,
with the
I'm
wording.
not even related to funding. I'm more related to getting to know the specific things that they potentially know that we might don't know.
Okay, I understand your question.
Because I mean, everything is around funding, but it's not. I mean, it's more like sometimes we have individual people up there that are helping out that have a lot of information that we potentially don't have. I mean, I know somebody that that person goes and help, and that person have, and I say that person because I don't want to even say she or he, because potentially you will know who I'm talking about. But that person goes and have the 16 different stops to 16 different locations. So that potentially when we have the warming center, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to that 16 locations to inform the homeless. This is open today, so you can go ahead and be a little warm instead of being here. There is because I mean we all think like, okay, and that's why I was talking about the communication, because sometimes we communicate with each other that have funds, but sometimes those folks they don't have nothing. They don't have that information, and sometimes it's difficult to even communicate at all about things that are happening within the community.
So one of my roles is to gather all that information so that yourselves, City Council, have the information where all these pockets of homeless individuals exist. I had this done, I've done it before, so I'm not a stranger to do that. I go walk, I've been walking the streets with some of the outreach workers. So we have a lot of pockets. So many people overlook like Den Rock, which is on 114, right? There's an encampment there. So therefore, we know that it exists, so we will send. So this is what I'm saying, when we're going to section off, specifically in January, we will do the point in time count. We go to all of these places, and we do work with individuals. Now I understand your question better. These individuals, if they have, I know a mechanic here in this, that he goes out and he does a lot of this work. So this mechanic, I pick his brain out, and I say, okay, so go with me to the ones that I do not know. So if I don't know, I need to find that out. So this is the work in the ground that is done. In order for me to do a successful sectioning off, I must know where all of these places are. So we have a place now in Trenton Street. There's only one individual, but it's an encampment. There's only one individual there, but he's there. So you look into, and the thing is that you have to understand where some of these people will move during the winter time. They will move to another location where they feel safer, and actually they're not going to go through, they're not going to suffer too much of the weather conditions. So those are the things that, and I think, your question is, am I going to work with people in the community to give me information? Of course, that I will do. That is my role to do that. Because if we want to reduce the number of homeless individuals in the city, we must work together. This cannot be done by one individual. This cannot be done by one department. We have to all work together. So if you know of an encampment that you think nobody else knows, then we need to know that information. And this is what I was saying earlier when having the listserv for all of the homeless organizations. Listen, I want to have a meeting with all of your outreach workers because they go out to places that I might not be able to go out or that I am not aware of. So it's working together to bring all of this, all of these resources to folks, and also letting us know where the need is for us to go and meet the needs of the people that really need the help.
Let's sustain.
Okay? We're good?
Any other questions or comments?
Oh.
Council Martin?
What role does your department have with the Lawrence Police Department in terms of your, what your mission is when it comes to not only this grant, but how your department operates? And does your department collaborate with any other departments such as Veteran Services, or I'm pretty sure that there's got to be some sort of I don't want to call it interagency, but interdepartment where, what you're doing affects other departments, and I would like to see if you and other department heads kind of join in when it comes to seeing the mission of what you're trying to do.
Absolutely, we work together in everything. I think the chief is here, he could speak to that also. They have a behavioral health unit that we have worked together with both Lieutenant Fleming and Detective Montecalvo, and they were the first ones that I met when I came to this position. The encampments, they worked very well with us. They helped. I mean, I went in to do my due diligence, giving notices out to folks, but they went in and helped. Department of ISD, Inspection of Services came in to help us. And, even saying that, even outside of we worked with the State Department, the Department of Conservation, that's right on Jackson Street. They came out and they took 6 trucks load of trash. When you talk about working with other departments, we worked with the Board of Health. We have to, it's not a choice. We are a city, and all of these resources are within the city, and we have to use that. So I cannot work in a silo. I have to work with those around me. And this will continue to be, and it will extend even further than what we are doing today. Again, as I said, and I have to repeat this so that you would understand where all my energies lie. It's all in emergencies. So therefore, when the emergencies subside, which I don't see the day that that's going to happen anytime soon, then I could truly start building up. So we're building while we're putting out fires. We're building, and that's natural in all this. When you didn't have someone in this position that would take it to this level, plus all the other stuff that needs to be done. There's a lot of reporting that needs to be done. So what time does one have to write and to talk about what they have done? I believe that our history sometimes tells us that, we do a lot of criticizing, but we don't realize all the work that takes place. For one, like right now, people might be getting sick of me or me sending a report, and I really don't mind if they do, but I'm reporting back what I'm doing because it bids, the respect of telling everybody we're working together. And, we had an infestation recently on Methuen Street. Well, I didn't feel that was my job, and I truly say that was not my job because I am not the Board of Health. But guess, at the end of the day, who had to resolve the issue until this morning? It was me, because we needed to bring everybody together. Police department was there, also Board of Health was there, the Inspection of Service was there, but we all coordinated, we came together, and the issue is resolved. And 3 o'clock this afternoon, we finally closed, I closed the case, that we're all good with this woman that had the issue. So this is what I'm saying. We have to work, Counselor, we have to work together. There is no way that, we work in silos. It's absolutely not. It's impossible if you really want to get things done. Thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, I would like to put a motion to send this item to full council with a favorable recommendation.
I'll second the motion.
Motion has been made by Council Marvel, seconded by Council President Rodriguez. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Thank you. We
Thank
will
you.
see you next
You have a
week.
good evening.
You as well.
Thanks.
Councilors, can I have a motion to untable item 364-25, authorization to expend $1,208,942.73 for the 2026 Massachusetts Municipal Public Safety Staffing Grant brought to us by Director Shepherd from the Police Department. Hi, Director.
Hello. Hi, good evening,
How
City
are you?
Council. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
See.
I'll be coming more often. You'll be seeing me more often.
Almost every meeting.
I'm working a couple of grants right now. You will be seeing more often. But thank you for having me today. Rosa Shepard, Director of Support Services at Lawrence Police Department, 90 Lowell Street. And I am here to present the fiscal year 2026 Massachusetts Municipal Public Safety Staffing Grant. We are grateful and happy that we've been having this grant for the past 12 years. And this year we applied for the amount of $1,208,942.73. And this is to help for the sending the recruits to the academy, being able to equip them with the uniform and everything that they need while the academy, as well paying for them while for the salary once they come out of the academy, and support some of our overtime as well for the sworn officers.
So this is, okay, specifically to send office recruits to the program, what's it, the training?
Yes.
Okay.
New recruits.
New recruits, okay. How many, Director Shepherd, how many new recruits do we have for the pipeline?
As of today, we have 8 in the lower academy.
Okay, and I'm assuming the 8, will the 1.2 million be used for the whole 8, or about, I guess my question should be, what is the price for the individual, or what is the cost to send an individual to training?
So right now, this grant is going to start January 2026, but usually it's $3,200 per recruit at the academies.
3,200, okay. And do we usually get this grant? For the last 12 years? So we've been getting this grant for the last 12
For
years?
the past 2 years,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, councilors, any questions or comments? Council President? Council President. I should just, Council President.
And it's a grant that we've been dealing with for 12 years now, and at least for the last 10 that I've been here, I've been seeing these every year, and these grants have helped us tremendously to the city of Lawrence. I was looking at the expenditure per capita, something that it is very appreciative of seeing these. I've seen that the city of Malden, the city of Haver right around us is paying $141.33 per capita, and we, the city of Lawrence, we spend $167.49 per capita. So with a total population of about 76,000 people. Obviously, our population is a little higher, but I mean, it's good to have that statistic. It's always good. So let me ask you, Councilor, the chair of the committee just mentioned, and ask you also how much you spend per send somebody to the academy.
Right now, again, it's just the recruit is $3,200, and the equipment itself with the uniform, you're looking between $33,000 to $5,000.
Okay. Do you mind putting together, for next meeting, not today, but do you mind putting together from point A to point B, from the beginning of the recruitment, when we ask for the list of the civil service, all the way to having somebody on the street, how much we, the city of Lawrence, spend, including salaries and any other costs per individual?
Under the staffing grant, it just is
No, in general.
in general.
And that way we just have that number. Because what I'm trying to get is essentially that it's a project that I want to work with somebody, I don't know with who, but I mean with somebody at the state level, is that, you know, the way that Connecticut do with municipal, and the way that Connecticut have a law that allows municipality to actually back charge those costs to other community that potentially get those already trained officers that doesn't have to go through civil services, and essentially what happened is that those municipalities that train them, they get a specific amount of dollars for anybody that leave the municipality within some amount of years. I believe it's 2 years after they get hired originally. So I want to start getting data as to how much that costs to the city of Lawrence from point A to point B, meaning from the beginning, when they walk into the door to be on the academy, the uniforms, and anything else, including salaries, to the city of Lawrence, so we know, like, when we lose somebody, we will know how much we lose in terms of funds, not just in terms of people, in terms of, obviously, the personnel. Because, I mean, I think it is important to start talking about that. And having that grant out here to discuss specific about the staffing, we don't have that many opportunities to discuss this type of things on another level, because when we're discussing the budget, it's kind of like, you know, so many things at the same time. So I just want to know that specific number. I know that the recruitment process might take up to 6 months or maybe more for the academy time and all the stuff, and then, so I just want to know, like, in general.
Will do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to send to full council with a favorable recommendation.
I'll second the motion.
Motion has been made by Council Marmal, seconded by Council President. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes have it. Councilors, can I have a motion to untable item 365-25, authorization to pay prior year bills totaling $32,865.53, brought to us by Director Shepherd from the Lawrence Police Department.
Motion to untable.
Motion has been made, properly seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Director?
Sure. So, this item is to pay prior year invoices in the amount of $32,865.53. These were invoices that unfortunately, due to unforeseen expenditure, we were not able to pay before the end of the fiscal year. And as you can see, the chief and I, we have sat down and be able to revise invoice by invoice and the amount to make sure we do not be a repeat offender for next year.
We have 1, 2, 3. We have quite a few invoices for security technician. Oh, never mind, I'm sorry, the description is there, you don't have to. Never mind. All right, counselors, any questions pertaining to the invoices? Seeing none, I'll give you guys a second. Sorry, we were just given this tonight. Our secretary is out.
Take your time.
So sorry if we're
Take
just
your time.
looking through this. Council President.
Yeah, just wondering, do you have any other vendor when it comes to the vet hospital, or we just work with one?
For the animal control,
No, just in general, for the veterinary hospitals?
we do have other vendors. Bolgers is the more full and more equipped vendor when it comes to animals right now. But we have utilized other vendors. Just this one is open 24/7, and it's more reliable than any other vets. I know. Which again, we try to utilize all the vendors as well.
I mean, vet hospitals are expensive. I feel like taking care of an animal is more expensive than.
So unfortunately, with this vendor, other veterinarians, they don't take emergency. You cannot just walk in with the animal and have them take care of it. This one in particular, you can just come in and they are able to help you right away.
Are those bills get passed over the owners when?
Yes, that's something that we've definitely been looking at.
You looking at, or you passing it over?
We're passing it over. We're passing it over. So yeah, before any invoices being paid right now, we verify with our animal control as well with the chief of police to make sure that the owners of the animals get this invoice, because sometimes come to the police department. So it is my job to make sure that I bring it to their attention for the invoice to be delivered to the correct person.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering to see if there is any other vendors, because sometimes, we got to think about, they're going to have to pay these bills. It's not quite cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take it over to whatever. If it is not at night, I understand. Also, I was wondering, I'm fine.
I have. Council President.
Went blank. Do we have, are you guys considering to have any type of, like a general insurance for animals that we get? If the bills for the animal vets get expensive, so like a general insurance, liability insurance for any type of emergency we have with the animals we get that is such thing in the market?
I am not aware, but I can research for you.
All right, thank you.
Yep. I am not aware of any.
Director, we have, I see the commercial cleaning bill. This is very minute, but because we have, the reason why I'm asking this, it's a minute situation, it's a minute, amount. However, we are about to open the new police station, which is a much larger building. Do you guys have an estimate of how much, the cleaning service is going to increase by with this new building?
No, we have not, but under this contract, we are on, well, actually, we're gonna start doing the process of getting a new company in December. So the chief and of course, we're gonna sit down and start looking. Once the building opens completely, we're gonna go in and make sure and try to see the, how much it will cost. But again, we will have to go through an RFP or bid at that point, because definitely we are not talking about $26,000 a year.
Right,
It's
it's
definitely
gonna be
much,
more.
much larger. But that, yeah, we're gonna start the process at around December, January, to see, for the new building.
Thank you. Any other questions, Council President?
Just mentioning that and piggybacking on that, a lot of people are going to be looking up for that contract. We want to have an open process and transparent process because everybody is going to be looking out for that, just to be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other,
Well, Madam Chair, I recommend, I make a motion to send item 365 to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second that.
motion has been made, seconded by the Council President. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week. All right, at this point, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion has been made, probably seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the ayes have it. Personnel. Yeah, she's here for personnel, huh? Good evening and welcome to the Personnel Committee meeting. It is September 22nd. It is now 7:10 p.m. Voting members present to my left, I have Councilor Anna Levy, and to my right, subbing in for quorum purposes, we have the Council President, Giovanni Rodriguez. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2022, this meeting of the Personnel Committee is being conducted both in person and via remote participation. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or view this meeting while in progress may either attend here in the City Council chamber or use any of our social media platforms. At this point, can you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Councilors, we don't have any minutes to approve. We have one item under new business, and it's item 388-25, contract renewal, city clerk, and it was brought to us by the Council President, Giovanni Rodriguez. Council President, I will ask you to address this item while sitting here, because then I'm going to lose quorum. So, we have our city clerk here. Council President, do you want to tell us a bit about this item? If you go to the podium, I'm gonna lose quorum. Okay. Council President, you have the floor.
Yes. Well, the city clerk is in front of us because she is her contract is for renewal. It's up for renewal, and we as a council under the city charter we are responsible for a few positions. The city clerk is one of them, including the city attorney and 3 school committee members, and other positions that I cannot just mention it from the top of my head. But 2 of those positions are contracts that are deal with approve and appoint and confirmed by the council, and the city clerk is one of them. I believe 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, we entered into a contract with the city clerk, and in October 10, 2022. And now, for this term around, we need to renew her contract and review the terms, the duties, the commitment, also salary, the KPIs, the benefits, and so far so on. And that's why we have this document in front of us, which is a representation of what's going to happen with the agreement between the city clerk and the city of Lawrence through this contract. It is a legal binding contract that is being reviewed by the council today, and we would like to open up an opportunity for the city clerk in case she have anything to add to the discussion.
City clerk, name, title, work, or address for the record.
Good evening, councilors. Thank you for your time. Eileen O'Connor Burnell. I am the city clerk. I am a Lawrence resident. I reside at 257 Mount Vernon Street, right here in the city. The package in front of you has 2 documents in it. One is my current 3-year contract, which is about to expire, and then also a proposed new contract. The terms are identical to the old contract. The only changes are the dates, which are highlighted in yellow for you, and then the salary. We have been doing the 3% increase annually, and that is all that new number is the same 3% increase annually. I would love to talk to you a little bit about my office and the stuff that we do in there, if that time permits. I do think my team and I work really hard, and I've been very fortunate to have some wonderful staff. My 2 assistant clerks in particular are both excellent, and I know any clerk would be lucky to have both of them. There's basically a 3-pronged spear in my office. The first is the vital records. When you think of marriages, deaths, births, also things like dog licenses, business certificates, and we also maintain records for the Zoning Board of Appeals and the Planning Board. The second is the part that I do with you folks, which is the City Council, the meetings, the stuff here helping you with your ordinances and things like that. And then the final piece, obviously, is the basement. It's the elections, which we're in the middle of one right now. And you can see the role that my office has played in that, both on election day as well as the preparation for it, which is some substantial. There's a significant amount of preparation that goes into an election, and then the post-closing, we actually had till 5 o'clock tonight for anyone to ask for a recount, things like that, so the staff stays, the building closes at 4:30, we're here till 5, waiting to make sure no one comes in to ask for a recount. No one did, just sorry, you heard it here first. But basically, we do all kinds of stuff, and two things that have happened recently with my office that I am really proud of, and I want to make sure you guys are aware of, is the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They manage the vital records for all the cities and towns, and at the end of 2024, they changed the marriage license process. They changed the format of the document and the contents of that document, and my staff stepped up and really did an excellent job changing those marriage licenses, making sure that our applications were done well. And it was a very straightforward process, though, and it was learnable. They gave us a really nice guide to follow, and I felt the staff did a great job with that. Then, no sooner does that end, then they said, we're going to do death certificates next, and then birth certificates after that. The death certificates were really difficult. We had to do a totally new system of just logging in was different. But then with the death certificates, we work with ISD because they give out the burial permits, and we work with the undertakers. And the Commonwealth had sent out emails talking about trainings that they were encouraging us to do. There's a June 1st deadline, it's going to hit. Kudos to my staff and to myself, we took the online trainings and we were totally ready. And I honestly felt like no one else did, to the point that both ISD, Pat Ruiz and his staff, and the local funeral homes were calling us, how do we do this, what do we do? And we walked so many people through it. Methuen called us, Haverhill called us. We were a resource for other communities. So for me, being here about 2.5 years, I know that first year I was calling Andrew and in Methuen, I was calling Caitlin Wright and Haverhill a lot. I need help, please, what do you do? How does this work? And they were awesome resources for our office, and they have been. We work very well with the local communities. But I have to say, it felt really nice for other cities and towns to call us and say, what do you do with these death certificates? And to be able to be the one to give the answers, to say, we actually created our own little checklist, you want me to send you a copy? They're like, yeah, please, thank you. So I want to say, that's not something that you would see, but it is something that we felt really proud of, and it was a big learning curve for the whole state, to the point that they actually pushed back the deadline from the Commonwealth, because cities and towns were struggling with it. And I give my staff and myself credit for being on top of that and really having it be ready, and I think we did a great job with it. So there's just things that you don't see behind the scenes that I do feel like we're doing really well, and I
sorry to interrupt you, and I want
Yeah.
to add pertaining to this. Perhaps there could be someone watching online or, saying to themselves, why is this so significant? It's just birth certificates or death certificates.
Yeah.
But if you consider the amount of individuals and the amount of records that we have,
Yeah.
that's a lot to get through.
Yeah. Can I just give you one example? Today, so September 20, whatever it is, 2nd, one of the town clerks from Western Mass, now granted small town Western Mass, sent out an email today. I have a question about the maiden name on the new form for the marriage license. This is my first marriage license of the year. And I'm thinking, the amount of marriages that we do, the amount of deaths that we see. We have a hospital, and, so that means the amount of deaths and births that we see as far exceeds what a lot of other communities see, because we are a hospital. So not only if you live in Lawrence and pass away, but if you live in another community and pass away at our hospital, we get those death certificates too. So we do have a very high volume compared to other communities, and we manage it really well.
Thank you. Councilors, any questions or comments? Council President.
Madam Clerk, thank you very much for everything you do with the council. I can witness the amount of work you do when it comes to
You
city
see it,
council
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
We do a lot of things that is not necessarily just the agenda. It's a lot more when it comes to procedures and process that have to be on there. And over, in the last 2 years, we have worked together to make sure that we deliver a good product when it comes to city council stuff. And I also, when it comes to your office, it's something that we have seen many different changes, and we're going to keep on seeing more changes because we've been proposing new things. Now we have all of the meetings. That's one of the things that it might not look important, but we have all of the meetings on one page that we don't have to look for it on different scenarios, different agendas, and so far so on. And that's something that you keep on doing every week to update us, so we can be up to date with the different meetings around the city. And I appreciate that. And also, we've been working together to have an agenda management system that we're gonna be launching soon, and that's something that it is gonna be very helpful for the agenda system that we have, because people might think, oh, it's an agenda, but yes, it's a lot of documents that we need to be managed, and it's a lot of information that need to be put in place. And the system that we have, which is a paper track system basically, right now is very challenging for the department. So that's something that we're gonna keep on working. Just like the minutes, we've been catching up with the minutes that we have from previous years and stuff like that. And I think that we're finally gonna get to a point that we can say, yes, we're good. But also the system that we're trying to implement that will be helpful when it comes to the minutes. And that's something that people don't see, but I mean, it's happening at your department. So many things, so many moving parts. Just thinking about the elections is something that, especially every year, we have election every year. Municipal-wise is the one that people talk the most. But there is elections at the state level, election at the federal level, election at the local level. And the three different governments, you guys be able to manage those at the election division, which is under your responsibilities. And with the help of that assistant city clerk that you have in place, that you guys are providing a great service to the city of Lanos. So thank you.
Thank you. Council President, thank you. And I was forgetting, we are actually working, the Council President had given me kind of an initiative or a goal to reach, and I've been working towards it, to have an electronic agenda system that's software-driven, that will connect every document to the agenda, which will make it a lot easier for councilors that want to look backwards to say, whatever, you'll be able to click on the document on the agenda, and it'll take you right to all the documents. We should be rolling that out in the month of October. So it might not be that first meeting, but by the second meeting in October, we should be rolling that out. So that's coming up. And so thank you for reminding me, but also, it's good when your boss gives you a challenge, you know what I mean? Like, and it was a big challenge. When he first said it, I was like, I don't do that. But it actually, I think it's gonna make both of our lives a lot better, and all of your lives a lot better. It's a lot of work getting it off the ground, but once it's off the ground, it will be a really great resource for everybody. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that was good.
I think it is, I served on the Board of Trustees for Fitchburg State as a student rep. However, Fitchburg State is unique because the student rep does have voting powers.
Oh, nice.
And we had the system electronically where exactly what you, the council president yourself just described is what we used, and it was amazing. I just needed my little iPad for everything, and everything was there. So I'm happy to hear that we're going to be transitioning to that. And also, I want to thank the council president for bringing up the minutes, because that was going to be one of my questions tonight. As you know, Madam Clerk, one of my consistent questions is regarding minutes and bringing us up to speed on that and ensuring that we're putting them out. So I'm glad that something's being worked out between the council president and yourself. I also want to thank your office for being proactive. We had a meeting last week about elections and the state coming in and everything and et cetera. But before any action was taken by any other individual, your office was before us in March, stating that you were preparing to meet with the state to have them come here to Lawrence specifically for this election. So you guys have been proactive. You have been throwing a lot of stones, and as council leadership, we have those conversations, and I appreciate you keeping us informed on what's going on, and you still do your job, and you treat everyone fairly and equally, and that's really important. Considering, I mean, yeah, there's leadership, but at the end of the day, there's 9 bosses that you have.
Yeah.
And that's a lot to manage, and that's a lot to deal with. So I appreciate that. And another thing that the people don't know, unless you're a counselor, is you help with other things. Like, I don't know the amount of times I have reached out to you because I'm either stuck at work late or I'm in a meeting, but I need a citation language, or I forgot to message DPW, can you follow up for me, you know, for this, I'm stuck at work, or whatever it might be. I just send you a quick message when I need that little extra support. And so I appreciate taking on that additional task, minor task that doesn't really fall under you, and you make sure to keep myself and our secretary and whomever is involved up to date when you are asked for that support. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Councilor Levy.
Here's your time. Yeah.
That's just something that I've been looking to be changed, that we don't have to push.
That we don't have to.
And that was the way before, that we don't have to push it and keep it on. But this is something that we need to work. But no, I want to thank you for everything that you do for us. And I'm so glad that my fellow council already approached the thing for the minutes. It's one of the things that a lot of people keep calling and asking for the minutes. Principal also for the different committee that they don't see. I don't know how behind we are on some of the minutes for the committee. But I'm glad that we are working right now and try to get, updated all of this, because it is hard sometimes that they looking or they couldn't find something, they immediately start calling us as a city council. And I think so that this is one of the very important in this. And also another thing that I would like to see is a little bit more thing posting on the web, whatever that we have. So many other, like it's, the agenda, I don't know if we can post it in the web or in our page, the city page.
May I just on that one thing? We have an amazing feature on our city council, on the city's website. If you scroll down, if you're on the main homepage and you scroll down, maybe you should do a PSA just on this. There is a calendar on the main webpage of the city. And my staff and I, we connect every agenda in the whole city to that calendar every day. Okay. So if you send me a calendar for the Disability Commission, it goes on there. If you send me an agenda for the Planning Board, it goes on there. And I don't think people realize it's there, but if you just scroll down, are you looking at it now maybe?
Yes, I just pulled up
Yeah.
our cityoflawrence.com.
Yeah, so just scroll down on the main page and you'll get to a calendar. It's under there's usually 2 or 3 big things.
Yeah, it's
and
all
if
in
you
the
click
bottom.
on the dates, it literally brings you to the event. It will give you the times, it gives you the location, and then there's actually a little feature that says download agenda. You click on the agenda, it will bring you right to the agenda for every single meeting. And I don't think people know it's there, and I don't know how to make them aware of it, but we also have the agenda center and other places you can look for stuff. But that calendar, literally we connect every single agenda. They're all there.
So that is something that we
How do we
can
make
see it
people-
right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is something that maybe we can start telling people,
Yeah, maybe
that
a
they
little-
should look on the calendars that is on the bottom of the
Quick little videos on Facebook or something like that. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But it is there, and we have been doing it. Actually, the council president is the person that told me, make sure you're putting these things on this calendar, make sure you're attaching the agendas. And so we've been doing that. But I don't think, because one time Rich Russell, who I love, we all love Councilor Russell, he made a comment about something, and I was like, Council, there's actually a calendar on the main homepage. If you scroll, and he's like, oh. So and he's pretty in tune with stuff. He loves to go look at all those things. So
yeah, no, he's the one of the
Yeah.
people, that more likely to complain about,
Yeah.
they don't have the agenda,
Yeah.
they don't have the minutes, they
Yeah.
don't have this or this.
So when
And
I
he
showed it to him, he actually was surprised to see it too. So I just think that tool's been there for at least a year now.
Oh, I see the download, okay.
Yeah.
I was, sorry to interrupt, I was just about to say, I don't see agendas here, but
If you-
it's
up in the
on the
corner,
right.
on the right.
It's on the right, and
Maybe we
it's,
can black, that people
Yeah.
can notice it,
it's
that,
in great font, so it's you can miss it, but
Yeah.
it's there.
But it does have every meeting, and every agenda is posted to every meeting. So it is, they're there. But I hear what you're saying too. Let's get it done. Let's make sure people know too. That's the other thing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
But
no.
I did want to mention that, because it's a lot of work to upload all those, and I don't know if people ever realize that they're even there.
All right. Thank you. I learned something new tonight.
There you go.
Any other questions or comments? Council President?
I'll make a motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you.
Motion has been made. Is there a second? Second by Council Levy. Discussion. Maria, I'm going to add this anticipated executive session, because there's gonna be 8 of us, so you never know what can be asked or brought up, just in case, so we could be prepared for anything. Yeah.
I do have one more question in here.
Councilor Levy.
So practically, this contract only will change on the percent that has to be the increase, or there is something that we are thinking to add or to take him out from the contract? That is gonna be similar?
The contract that I put in front of you is with the yellow highlights on it. So there's 2 there. There's my old contract is the first 4 pages, and then the next 4 pages is a proposed new contract, which is identical in terms. The only changes are the dates are for now for October of 2025, which is when your vote would be. And I've added in, you've been doing the 3%, so I added in the 3% so that it's there. And then there'll be 3% future years. So those are the only 2 changes to that contract.
That is gonna be in the contract, those changes.
Yeah,
that's it.
so the
Yeah, because-
pages, so it should be 2 documents in front of you. One is, like, pages 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the old contract. Pages, whatever that's 5, 6, 7, and 8 are the new contract, and they're highlighted in bright yellow, and that would be the contract that's going before the full council.
So what we agreed.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. Okay, so one thing is like, I was looking for, because I don't have nothing on hand when I came in here, and I say sometime I keep it in my house, some of the contract for some of the employee, but I was looking, it looks like I just leave it in here, and I did not have anything on hand before I was coming. I said, well, I hope that I'm gonna have it,
Yeah, thank you.
during the meeting, because I remember a couple of things, but I couldn't remember everything that happened. But thank you so much for putting both
Yep,
in
they're
here.
both there, the old one and the new one.
I had to separate it.
It might be more easy, less, yeah. Yeah, whatever works.
All right, any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes have it.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, there may be, not me, obviously there are gonna be additional questions. There's still time if the council decides to add or whatever to your contract, that will be the time to do it. An additional time, the time to do it is now, but if there's anything additionally, as you know, we will handle it at the full council.
Full council. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
So we're gonna have anticipated executive
Yeah,
section.
I add that, yeah, I added that, just in case. All right, motion to adjourn by Council President, seconded by Councilor Levy. All those in favor say aye. Aye, and the ayes have it. Thank you so much, councilors.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. This is Counselor Marmol, the Chair of the Housing Committee. We had a scheduled subcommittee meeting today for Monday, September 22nd at 7 p.m. However, due to lack of quorum, this meeting has been canceled. Right? That's all we have to say. Okay. I don't know.